Alright, everybody, it's the moment you've been waiting for. It is the match in the Pokemon PAX League, PAX Pokemon League, that I get to play against the champion. So at this point, I've earned my 8 badges, I got my 4 elite badges, and the champion has finally arrived at the scene during the designated meetup time at the handheld area at PAX Prime 2014 in Seattle. And I was the first challenger, and he was just like, oh my god, it's my first challenger. He was actually really nervous about this. It was quite funny. The story behind Snork is that he is one of the strongest Pokemon trainers and was one of the only trainers to be able to use 6 megas at the same time. 6 megas at the same time. But of course, due to league rules, he could only use 1. And what he had me do was I had to roll a dice, and based on what I rolled, he got that mega. He can evolve that mega. So I rolled a 1, and apparently that equated to Mega Manectric. Talking to some of the other challengers later on, I think he only lost about 5 matches throughout the entire PAX Pokemon thing during at PAX Prime this year. But I think every single one of them he used Manectric. Almost every single one he used Manectric. But it was pretty funny. I think he used Gardevoir in one of them as well. But after me, he stopped rolling the dice, and he just chose whatever he wanted to use. I brought in my balance team because I didn't really know what to expect him to be running at this point. I knew he was going to be running things that could Mega, but the fact that he had Mega Stone and all his stuff actually made my life a lot easier, because it didn't mean he didn't have sashes. I mean, he didn't have berries. I mean, he didn't have choice items. It allowed for a lot of much easier prediction. So immediately I'm going to switch over to the Hydreigon. I didn't know if U-Turn was going to outspeed the Manectric. He's going to go for the evolution here. Get the Intimidate off on the Hydreigon. It's not going to matter. And go for the Volt Switch to get out of there as well. Doesn't hit me that hard because, of course, dragons do resist electricity. And he's going to bring on the Pepperoni. It's going to be the Gardevoir. Not exactly the best matchup here, unless he is bred to survive this Dark Pulse that's coming out. He's going to go for the Calm Mind, get his special defense up actually, and that's going to make a difference. Against a Choice Spec, I don't even bring him to half, so I'm like, I'm not going to stick around for this anymore, especially since he outspeeds me. Bring on the Aegislash. Hyper Voice doesn't hit me. No Pixelate, of course, because it's not Mega Evolve. Will hit me with a Shadow Ball. That's going to hurt a lot. But I'm going to retaliate with my own Shadow Ball here, or Flash Cannon. It was a Shadow Ball after all. And it's going to take out the Gardevoir. So immediately my double dragons now are way more threatening because that Gardevoir is gone. I can start spamming big things. He still has the Aggron in his team, which is going to be a bit of a nuisance. He's unable to evolve the Pinsir, so I'm not going to have to be afraid of things like Feint or other stuff being able to hit through my Protects. Trying to also drop his attacks with the King Shield as well. Gonna bring on my own Mega here now. He's gonna go for the Earthquake. Doesn't affect me. And I'm gonna Mega up. So I got the free switch in here because I knew he was throwing out those Earthquakes after I protected. And I'm just gonna go for, I think I went for the Heat Wave this time. I didn't bother going for stuff. I took the mischance because I knew I wasn't going to be taking too much damage. No, I went for the Overheat anyways. F it. I didn't know if he was going to switch or not. So I went with the Overheat. I probably didn't even need to run Heat Wave. There was one gym leader who was doing triple battles, and I think at least 1 or 2 who were doing double battles. One of them was a VGC trainer. I didn't get to fight her, unfortunately. But yeah, so I still wanted to keep Heat Wave in case I get to play against spreads. Switching to Aegislash here to take the Volt Switch. Not a biggie. Brings in the Gyarados here, and I know that he can Earthquake, especially since he's supposed to Mega Evolve into Mold Breaker Earthquake. I want to protect here just to see what he's going to do. He throws out the Substitute. I'm like, no, please don't. At this point, Aegislash has nothing he can take care of, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to attack. And he went for the Dragon Dance, expecting me to switch out here, and that was actually what I was afraid of. But I can't let him stay behind his Substitute for free here. So I did the attack, and I was like, okay, cool, I got this. And he's going to go for the bounce here. I went for another Shadow Ball because I wanted the Aegislash to go away so I can get a free switch in. The fact that he went for the bounce is actually going to make a huge difference. no Mold Breaker on this instance. I'm going to be able to protect and basically remove the Dragon Dance attack bonus that he got. Yeah, harshly fall off of that. And I'm going to heal quite up, and I'm going to be able to survive this first waterfall. This Aegislash is actually doing a lot more damage to his team, and he's basically revealed his entire set to me now. No Earthquake on his set. It's Substitute, Dragon Dance, Bounce, and Waterfall. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can stay in and just do whatever the heck I want. So shield up here, and I have to shield up, unfortunately. He can't substitute anymore. He is going to Dragon Dance. This might be enough for him to knock out the Aegislash at this point with the Waterfall. Nope, never mind. Just kidding. Shield form too strong, and Shadow Ball is actually going to get rid of this huge threat to my team. So Aegislash surprisingly clutch at this moment, and the fact that I was playing him kind of dumb. Basically, I wanted him to take out the Aegislash, and the fact that he didn't and couldn't made a huge difference at this point. He's just like, why aren't you respecting the Earthquake? I'm like, I just want him to die so I can send in something else. Flamethrower comes out here against the Garchomp. I'm pretty sure I am Lumburied at this point, so it didn't really matter if it didn't really matter that he broke a potential sash. He knew Earthquake was coming in, but of course the Aggron's got the sturdy ability. Is going to stay up here, basically like a sash. Gonna go for another Earthquake. Aggron very, very slow. Aggron actually not a very strong Pokemon, even with the Mega. I tried using him before with the Filter ability, but it didn't really help that much. I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw here. I'm not afraid of any Spore or Sleep Powder shenanigans here. He knocked out my Lumberry, and he was like, what? Lumberry? I'm like, VGC standard! But 2 Dragon Claws gonna take care of the Venusaur here, and I think this Mega Manectric is the last one. Even with the double Intimidate, I should be okay here. Gonna protect and scout out for the hidden power, and indeed he does have the hidden power, but there's not really much I can do. I'm still gonna switch out though, just to get him to burn a couple more of those hidden powers. Charizard's gonna come out, get the sun back out. And hidden power is gonna hit in him, not gonna do that much. But Thunderbolt, of course, is gonna be enough to finish me off. I didn't actually want to switch into another thing. I wanted to switch out the Garchomp just so I can reset those Intimidates, because I think I was like double Intimidated at that point. Gardevoir with the Choice Scarf at this point might be able to do some decent damage. Look, we're gonna take a look. He went for the Thunderbolt. He still outspeed me. Wow, even with the Choice Scarf. I'm gonna go for the Moonblast. Does decent amount of damage. Another Thunderbolt will take me out. But of course we knew that. I think I still have... Oh, I still got Talonflame. Yes. And at this point, he's pretty much low enough for me to Brave Bird him for the KO, even with the resistance. So it was a good fight, and I just had a lot more resources left over than he did. I took a lot of his Pokemon down without any hardships, and the fact that my Aegislash got rid of his Gyarados definitely helped a ton. So I was the first Hall of Famer for the PAX Pokemon League at PAX Prime 2014, and I got a nice certificate. They also gave me this, I think they called it a cape. It was more like a shroud that had like a little Pokemon clasp on it. That was kind of cool. Pokeball clasp, rather. And overall, I had fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know if I'll do it again next year, but I'll definitely keep it on my radar and probably go by and try a couple of battles. Singles, not exactly the format for me, I don't feel. I did talk to some of the people before, and they're saying how it's much easier for a doubles player to go into singles than for a singles player to go into doubles, simply because in singles you have like maybe 7 things that you can try to predict the other person doing, whereas double is like not double the amount, but like squared the amount. It's like a bajillion things, let's say, hyperbolically speaking, that there's a lot more things to try to keep track of, which is probably one of the reasons why I had a much easier time predicting and tracking what my opponents were doing, especially since I wrote down their team during team preview, and I could just kind of like, well, what are his switch out options, and just take a look. I can probably hit all these things for neutral damage if I did this. So I was able to make the conservative and correct play and just basically avalanche any lead that I had into a complete win. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. I do actually have a couple more battles that I recorded from the time I was at PAX. I have one more Elite member battle that I actually lost. If you guys want to see this, I also have some ones I played against other players as well. If you guys want to see them, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And do check out the PAX Pokemon League, guys. They're pretty cool people. Till next time, see y'all later. Take care.